Yo, what's up? I'm Z the Free.
Yo, this is Rubix.
What's up, I'm Maya.
What up, it's your boy 17.
Yo, it's Young Pop Bonito.
It's your boy Mike Louison, and you're watching Hip Hop Certified.
Hip Hop Certified.
Hip Hop Certified.
Hip Hop Certified.
Hip Hop Certified. Rock!
And you're watching Hip Hop Certified.
So, what is good, Hiphoppas? It is a Step on Sound here with Hip Hop Certified Podcast, episode 13. And today we have some very special guests, but I want to introduce us and the team. For those that don't know, Hip Hop Certified is a company dedicated to representing the global hip hop culture through digital media, music, and live events. So, the reason why we're even here in the first place is for peace, love, unity, safely having fun through breaking, emceeing, DJing, beatboxing, graffiti writing, street fashion, street language, street knowledge, and street entrepreneurialism. So, with that being said, we're going to go around the team and see everybody who's here. So, what's up?
Yo, what's up? Johnson, Hip Hop Certified team member. That's what's up.
Yo, Nasty G, Hip Hop Certified DJ Nasty G.
DJ Nasty.
Yo, what up?
And we got Karan on the cameras, the new guy. What's up, man? How you doing? Introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, Karan's my name, helping out with the cameras over here. Thank you for having me.
Shout out.
Shout out. So, with that being said, we have some very special guests, so stay tuned for the whole thing because we're going to be having Rubix and BrotherHood perform and talk about their new album at the very end. But for right now, we have a man that's very special to my heart. This man is an entrepreneur, a businessman, an MC for those that don't know. This man is an MC as well. He's a mentor for the grade 8 and 9 students. So he might be teaching your kids in a school near you. And he's also the Tim Hortons consultant for entrepreneurs, if that's right, if I got that right. A little bit. Okay. When you talk about entrepreneurship, you have to mention this guy's name. When you talk about invention, you have to mention this guy's name. When you talk about guys on the next level of consciousness, you have to mention this guy's name. We have the one and only Micah Louison. Yeah, let's get up here, bro. Put your hands together.
Hi.
So I want to start off with a story. And if those that don't know, this is the 1-year anniversary of the ATB financial booster video that we did. And we did that at your house. Now, I'm going to need your help telling this story, if you remember it. But
We needed a motto.
okay, so let me introduce this story. So I remember it was August of 2018. Micah hit me up and he was like, because me and Micah met through Cypher Club, and Micah was telling me about a lot of the stuff that he was doing with Home in a Bag. So like, okay, let me check this out. And he knew that I was doing videos on YouTube. So I was like, okay. And Micah hit me up and let me know that he needed a video done for the ATB Booster funding campaign for Home in a Bag. So I said, okay, let's make this happen, So I get in my car, I had to drive across the city. It was like, Micah lives half an hour away from where I live, so this is not like an easy drive. But I drove across the city, and we pull up. This is the first time I went to Micah's house. He starts showing me like all his books that he's reading, and he starts breaking down like how Stony Trail was built, and just like on some next level shit. I was like, okay, man, you're on a next level consciousness at that point. At that point I knew this guy was certified. Elijah Prophet pulls up later he used to pull up with a Mega Boom and a bicycle. This is before he had a bike or a car. He pulled up and we go to the front of the house and we start filming the video. And when I tell you we took takes after takes, like we did like 20 takes of that video. I bet you probably got tired of asking me, what is a home in a bag? A home in a bag is...
That's a big bag.
It's not a bag. It's a home in a bag.
What's a home in a bag?
A home in a bag is a portable sleeping bag / tent built into a camping backpack. Want me to show you how it works?
Of course.
Like that, we did it. So whatever you see on YouTube right now for home in a bag, that was takes after takes of doing that. And it was super dope because you guys, I think we ended up at Cypher Club that day. Yeah. And your mom fed me. Yeah. You remember that? Yeah, and your mom fed me and everything. That was super dope. And we went to Cypher Club and you guys ended up editing that video that day and putting it up. So I'm glad to say I was part of the home in a bag start. I get some cloud points, okay? So with that being said, go ahead and ask him the question.
Word. So I know you're tired of people asking what's home in a bag, but I gotta ask for the people who are not educated on it. Tell me about the product.
Okay, so home in a bag is a reality that the people in the Amazon is facing. It's a reality that people everywhere a catastrophe happens facing. It's not supposed to be like a cute marketing campaign. It's supposed to be a warm introduction to a reality. It's supposed to be when I was like 8, where I'm from had a catastrophe and most of our community ended up in a bag. So essentially, like, home in a bag started as a product, portable sleeping bag / tent with Wi-Fi and solar panel. Get one.
Damn, respect.
Yeah, but right now it's a reality, right? It's essentially saying disaster strikes, your house is now in a bag. What do? Well, you get prepared and you make sure that you can give the information so other people can have that preparedness. So that actually is your question. It's a product, it's a service, but it's also a reality, right? And once you can know for your own self that you've done all you can do to get prepared, your home, even though it's in a bag, it doesn't have to suck, because for most people it's kind of caught off guard and then it's just a bunch of unnecessary suffering. So I think it's a reality, and it's also a conversation, because hurricanes are taking place, fires are taking place, you hear it and you almost get numb to it, but the information isn't getting as frequent as the catastrophes. And I think that's where we come in, is try to start that conversation on, okay, yeah, it's happening, but what are you doing about it?
And your family was hit by Hurricane Ivan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, back in 2004 or 2003?
2004, yeah.
2004. So that's kind of what sparked this whole idea in the first place, was because you actually dealt with that firsthand, right?
Yeah, Category 5. It was fun. It was really fun. I was young. I just thought the wind sounded cool. That's about it. I took naps and got out. Everyone's freaking out. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going.
Do you think because people don't experience that, they just don't care? They just in their mind, they're just whatever it is, right? But because you've experienced it, you have that extra sympathy, right?
Man, I wouldn't even go that far. I was in class and I was working on something completely different. It had to do with plants and computers, and I saw this thing called Venture Quest. It said 10 grand. I said say less, and came up with a social construct called home in a bag. To be honest with you, I didn't know how it looked like. I just know how it sounded. It sounded like home in a bag. Had a lot to do with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, shelter, and 2 years later, we're working with the United Nations on getting that shelter to people who need it now. So yeah, it was essentially just like a giant finesse that turned out to be something that people needed. And then I got down the path where I got emotionally invested in the lives that we could impact in a real way, and I've been doing it ever since.
So for me, it's to be an entrepreneur, you have that impact, you have that capability to create an idea and put it out into the market, right? How do you become an entrepreneur, and what does it mean to you to be an entrepreneur?
And I want the ABCs of out there, because how do you even start? What is step 1, 2, and 3 of how to become an entrepreneur?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, very loaded. I don't think you can start being an entrepreneur. I think you can learn systems to make your endeavors better at succeeding, but I don't think you can start being an entrepreneur. I don't think you're born being an entrepreneur. I think you're just a creative person that sees a need that you want to solve for yourself. First of all, it's always going to be based in, hey, I see this problem for myself, and then you're realizing if it's a relevant problem by whether or not you can make a solution somebody's going to pay for. There's honestly not this is the holy grail of entrepreneurship. It's always going to start with you're an unknown entity in an industry that you're trying to get recognized for doing something that's of any worth. And after you network and meet the right people, your reputation takes you into meetings where you can get resources or riches to actually construct whatever things you're conceiving to now make it pay for itself. And that leads into business endeavors, and it gets deep. Like, what is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneurship is being pushed as an economic salvation for developing worlds, but it's also like a lonely road you're walking. Like, you'll be in a world where the people who you know that's invested in it, they are only invested as far as they can see. But as you're doing the venture, you're technically alone, and it can get real, like, it's taxing on your mental. I wouldn't actually recommend my kids to be entrepreneurships. I think they should, like, do a business that works and use traits, like find out what problem you're solving, move with purpose, but don't actually like go into the world naively thinking like you can actually make an impact without realizing, you know, it's gonna cost you. Like, you're gonna give up a lot of time, you're gonna give up a lot of energy, and it might not even work. So
it's that risk factor, right? People are super scared of that.
Yeah, it's also an uncertain risk factor. At least if I know I get fired from my job, I have the years of experience from my job to take me to another job similar. But if I get fired from entrepreneurship and I've been out for like 5 years, I'm 5 years outdated from the workforce. So my
Really?
Yeah.
I think those skills are still applied. Like, when you start something like any kind of business or anything that just like makes money, I feel like that those skills are applicable in cross sections. Like,
I mean, everything cross-sects, but the intersection doesn't usually have any worth unless you have a receipt for it. So that's why we go to college, to get that receipt. It's not necessarily like you can't go online and get all the information on how to do this, that, and the third, but you don't actually have the receipt to prove that you have that qualification. And we're very materialistic, so yeah, you have all the information and you can do all the noise, but if nobody has a receipted document thing, they're not gonna like give you a job, because it's okay, yeah, good for you, you made that, but well, how does that impact me? It doesn't. So I'm not having no interest in, like, yeah.
And it's like, in the world, like, all the markets move so fast now. Like, different things come up, different things come down. It's the market for anything is always changing so fast.
I would say almost anything. I know one thing I'm gonna be certain for is there's always gonna be people burying people, and there's always gonna be people entertaining people until they die.
Yeah,
and whether you want to call that food or call that hip hop, but those two things ain't going nowhere unless it's not people. Then enough said. We don't even need to have this conversation because everybody's resting in peace, you know.
so something that you mention a lot is mutually assured prosperity. Now, who in the audience knows what mutually assured destruction is? So, okay, you know what it is? Okay, so you want to tell the people what it is? Okay, hold up.
Put them on the spot.
No pressure, no pressure.
Hey guys, I'm Will. Mutually assured destruction, or MAD, is when you have two powers that have the same capability of wiping each other out. So you have a nuclear power and a nuclear power. The fear of one of each other using each other's nuclear weapons against each other is going to be mutually assured destruction. Everyone's going to die, so it's not worth the risk of, you know, using the weapons that you have, because you're going to lose even though the other people are going to lose as well. Everyone dies.
So the opposite of that would be mutually assured prosperity. So what is mutually assured prosperity?
It's an economic movement, to be honest with you. I didn't come up with it. It's actually based off the law of nature. It's essentially saying if a tree falls in the forest and then mushrooms grow under it, insects eat the mushrooms, birds eat the insects, the seeds from the trees get planted by the fertile ground and it regrows. Did it fall? That's essentially what it's saying. It's essentially saying that there's no waste. It's essentially saying that we have infinite resource, that we have a finite market for our current resource, but the resource is always going to be there. Like, plastic comes from oil and oil comes from the ground. So essentially, like, it's an infinite cycle, but the market, because it's based in self-interest to our detriment, cannot be, like, you can always like replant a seed, right? But then when you throw away that seed because you don't want to keep like the certain index on the stock market to like dip, then we can't really afford that. Like, the earth's been feeding us for like ever, right? So mutually assured prosperity is what do you do when you automate all the jobs, right? What do you do when everybody's in a sense of codependency for drugs, right? you have to start thinking in the sense of how we came to be, which is, okay, there's a forest and that ecosystem sustains itself. It's like, even though the lion eats the gazelle, the decomposing corpse of the gazelle causes life. So even in death, there's like life, and there's no waste. I think mutually assured prosperity is not going to be something that's just going to be a little like, oh yeah, that's a cute economic thing. It's going to be, oh, we have to actually think in the best interest of what's good for me have to be good for you, and what's good for us have to be good for our community, and for our community then it's good for our environment, and that's how we're able to sustain it. They're doing that in South Africa. There's this thing called the Ubuntu movement. It's been going like for a while now. It's the same concept of
What's it called?
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu?
Yeah, the Ubuntu movement is essentially saying the innovations you make should positively impact the people around you, and then the community comes around you to support that innovation.
That's dope. And that's in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Yo, shouts out to South Africa. Anybody watching from South Africa, shouts out. So, I wanted to ask you, because you just put out a video. Micah doesn't put out a lot of videos on YouTube, but he puts out some videos on Instagram, and he recently put out a video called Our Day about reputation, and how your reputation brings riches and your riches bring resources. So how important is somebody's reputation to bringing riches and resources?
It's essentially how important is your reputation to you having the right people in your life, right? Because if you're known for a certain thing, that goes into every conversation. Like, this is you, and you did that, and essentially, like, society at one point was you were known by your reputation. You were an unknown entity until you did something that could spark a conversation, and then you became, hey, I'm the blacksmith, or hey, I'm the carpenter, or like I'm the farmer, you know? And then that's where our last names come from. It comes from our character, which is a result of our reputation. So it's just an old concept that's currently taken for granted, because most people just like, they don't think in the sense of, is my decision going to impact me 10 years from now? Because it always does. Like, you'll make a decision and it takes like 10 seconds, and then you're dealing with the consequences 10 years down the line. So it's more trying to connect to a demographic on the money scheme, but you can put spirituality in there. It's like, your reputation is your character to yourself, right? Like, yeah, people know you for this thing, but you can't even look at yourself in the mirror because you're living like a lie. You don't really like recognize, like, okay, yeah, even though I'm known for this good thing, but I'm feeling like a hollow person because it's not really me. That's really what, like, your reputation brings a resource, because through that conversation you're being talked about, and then that trust factor comes in because you're able to execute when those opportunities come. For instance, they say, oh, you do painting. Well, I have this guy who needs to paint a house, and then you mess it up. Guess who's never ever getting called again, right? And then you think they'll just stop at not calling you. They'll now go on a campaign to expose you, because we're in the exposed culture, we're in the caller culture. That's like,
how do you feel about that?
I feel good about that, because the real gonna recognize. I think that's amazing. You can look at it like, oh yeah, it's a soft culture. Everybody's like, trying to like keep the kids from all the violence, but they got the internet. There's plenty of violence. It's just now in a covert way where bullies are the victims and victims are the bullies, because you can say, hey, I'm a victim, and then really bully people into like submission with that mentality. So I feel good about it, because eventually, like, our kids is gonna look at it and see the falseness in it, because like we like to put out these like very grand concepts, and then we don't live it because we can't actually live up, or we won't actually live up to what's needed. So I feel real good about like caller culture and reputation, because a lot of people for a while have just been talking and there's no consequences to their words, and they've only been like tricking people. So now that there is consequences, I think that's a really good thing.
Word. So if you do some shady shit in your past, it might come and bite you in the ass.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So just know that. But
they got cameras everywhere.
Yes, cameras everywhere. They got records and everything. They might be wiretapping us right now. Who knows? I wanted to say, so you entered the Wreck the Mic back in 2018. You were at the first Wreck the Mic. And I always wanted to, because I saw you at the first Wreck the Mic. I know it's a switch up.
I was.
Yes, you were at the first Wreck the Mic. in 2018, or maybe it was 2017 at 10 at 10.
Okay.
And I've always wondered, why did you enter the Wreck the Mic?
Because I can rap. That's why I got bars. At least I think I got bars, so I rap. Like, I love rapping. Like, one thing I could do for free all day is rap. But then I did rap, and it got really, really weird because I don't like going into things misinformed. And then I was a little like, okay, well, hip hop has like shady origins. So I'm like, do I really want to be associated with that? Because, like, let's be real about it. It started 47 years ago, went public 44 years ago, and we're living with the ramifications of that. Like, it was a cult, for being like honest with ourselves. Like, they were like, you know, coming up with the constitutions, and here we are. So yeah, that happened. And then I realized anytime you have people and they're like going on stage, it's always going to be ego, and then it's always going to be politics. And then yeah, you can have like good song ideas, but if an engineer don't want to work with you and you can't afford it, guess who's not rapping no more? So I just didn't want to deal with that.
No doubt, no doubt. So you can rap.
Yeah,
but those that don't know, like entrepreneurship is a part of hip hop too, right? Like, if you look back at like people, they were selling like CDs out of a trunk. Like, that's a very basic way of like entrepreneurship.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's why I want to highlight this so much, is because entrepreneurship is such a part of like a hip hop. It's so like intertwined with it. We have like some of the biggest ones, the biggest guys in hip hop who are entrepreneurs, like Jay-Z, or you see like a Diddy or something like that. So it's like, it's bigger than just like the music. It's also the people that are making it happen. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you told me back in the winter that you only listen to instrumental music.
Yo, I feel that.
Yeah.
Is that still the case?
Yeah, more so now. It's like instrumental jazz now. Like, sometimes it's just like, yeah, I just like the vibration, because I heard okay, so this goes back to the cult thing, right? So they're essentially saying like songs have always been and they always will be, because vibration is like everywhere, right? And you have the opportunity now to get in tune with that vibration when you're living in like, you're living in your truth, you're living in your power. That vibration comes into your mind, and now you make timeless music. Like, if you're in a park right now and you hear the sound of the police and you don't even speak that language, you're resonating with it, you're vibing out to it. So that being said, it's more, if you're making music, it's usually all the great musicians, they make music based on they put rhymes to their reminiscing. You know, so reminiscing about your pain, and then somebody else really feels it, and that's how it brings out the connection. And it doesn't even have to be rap, it can be anything that just goes and put that vibration out there. Once you're looking at it from the point of, I'm speaking from my heart based on my actual experiences, you're not the only one who actually experienced that. So the person who is not as gifted with crafting words as you is gonna feel it in a real way. And yeah, that's literally what I think, like, one of the factors that, you know, you can tap into. You can essentially be, this is gonna sound weird, but like a conduit, you know? Like, you have the song, but you didn't choose the song chose you, because you were in that right vibration, and then you put out your words, so now you're hearing it, and when people hear it, they like really resonate for two things. You made it real because you took your life and you mixed it in there, but then you also made it really relatable. That's why people cry, have nervous breakdown, is because you're like talking to them in a way that they don't even know how to talk to themselves.
Word. So I really wish that we could have brought one of the Home in a Bag demos.
Yeah, but I think it would have skewed the context, because so we're gonna make a new version, right? And we're building it right now, right? And I think if you saw the material, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's a Home in a Bag, I get it. But it's more impactful that you would think of the people in the Amazon right now that have to live in that reality. It's not supposed to be like, oh yeah, this is something that I invented, because it's not what I want. It's essentially, okay, if you can see, this might not be my reality now, but it might be my reality later, because the way it's happening, it's not going it's not decreasing, it's increasing, right? So your home becomes in a bag more frequently than it doesn't these days, right? So I think I was actually planning on bringing it. Elijah showed up, and then we were like coming here, and like looking back on it now, I think it's more to spark that conversation, because that's what happened. And it's like I probably chose like the worst industry to like start entrepreneurship, because it's so depressing. It's like, yeah, another hurricane, whew, another flood, whew. And then you can post it 1,000 times and it just gets like, okay, yeah, we've seen it, and it almost becomes like, oh, we're trying to like sell a message and like become this marketing thing, when it loses the, oh, okay, I guess because you're not experiencing it, it doesn't really mean much. And then you experience it and it's like, oh, I get it now. But that could all be avoided, right? I think because we see so much gore and misfortune on like the click of a button, it just loses its meaning until you're going through it, and then it's like, oh, okay.
So then what you got planned for Home in a Bag moving forward?
We're gonna be doing a lot of work with the United Nations. We're gonna be making models. You can go on homeinthebag.com and get all the doomsday stuff, like water filtration, fridges, like portable generators.
You say your shit's for preppers, right? Preppers.
It's for people who, it's an introduction, right? So preppers are kind of hardcore and there's a stigmatism to it, but it's an introduction to, if you're living on a west or a coastline city, the likelihood of your house impacted by a tropical storm is a lot higher than if you're living in the mountains. So that reality is not supposed to be something cute. It's supposed to be, hey, I might actually have my home in a bag. So
it's almost like insurance, right? It's like people get their insurance for their car, like, oh, my car might.
Essentially, it's like a first aid kit.
Yeah. It sounds necessary.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do with it. We're gonna launch in 2020 and gonna have some models. We're gonna be doing a lot of tutorials, because you hear a hurricane happens, but I bet if I asked you right now, if a hurricane would take place, what would you do? You don't actually have a system to
in
it.
Calgary, I don't think that's gonna happen.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You'd be like,
we're far away
you got
from
the
a hurricane in Calgary, but maybe like a tornado.
There was well, it didn't stay a hurricane, but do you know where Nova Scotia is?
Yes.
Yeah. If it can go
East
there,
Coast.
it can come to Calgary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Essentially, like they follow like heat, right? Hurricanes are attracted to heat, and we have the mountains, right? So just imagine a hurricane take place in BC and then goes over the mountains. It's only hot air, so Chinook is gonna be like, ah, shucks, we got a hurricane coming over the mountains. It's gonna be just bad, because like our planet is kind of going through like a molt. Like all the carbon from the ocean is rising up, so they're getting bigger, a lot stronger. There's like Japan did this models on one of their supercomputers, and they're predicting like category 6 hurricanes, like 500 miles an hour wind. You know, like this is our reality now, and I just think it's not a little gadget. I think it was fortunate to start as a little gadget, but now it's like, oh, this is a reality. And because we're not really like taking the hints, it's getting harder, and it's hitting us harder, and it's hitting us harder. But once we get it, I think it's not like, it's never going like, yeah, that's category 6 hurricanes, but they've been working on round buildings like that actually uses the power generated from the wind to do turbines. There's like a bunch of stuff we can do, but I think one of the stuff I actually wanted to talk about, the J curve between hip hop and like our society, because it's a direct reflection. So I wanted to just make light to when they started the hip hop and the whole, like, they want to say it's a cult, but everything's a cult, right? Because of constitutions, because of individuals coming up and saying we're going to govern ourselves this way, and then they get big enough to make a culture and then a country out of it. And that's like the trajectory hip hop is facing, right? So I thought to myself, when they were in those rooms, they didn't actually have the ability to make hip-hop in their way. They only had the ability to conceive it in their way, right? Because there was never supposed to be big industries coming in and monetizing like the creative aspect of hip-hop. It was supposed to be an empowerment aspect for the people in those communities to like start their own industries, right? And that's exactly what being independent is now. It's so easy to reach millions and millions of people, and it's so easy to sell merchandise, but they didn't have that back then. We have it now. So what the J curve is alluding to is it's always going to be like the very start, and then because of the lack of infrastructure, it's going to actually decrease. So that's when you have the people like quote unquote the sellouts, because they don't have the
quote unquote what the quote
unquote sellout, like
okay.
the people who say, I'm going to sell my creativity and get that money and just keep it going. But that's necessary for a J curve to actually exist. You need to actually start at a point and go lower. And then over a period of time, it's going to compound on itself and it's going to start building on itself. And we're back at the era.
Well, what do you mean by go lower?
Okay, I'll give you a non-hip hop example. Tesla created this thing. Well, he didn't really create it. He found a solution for wireless electricity, right? That was in the 30s. We're now at wireless charging. It's not like the technology didn't exist. The industry for that technology didn't exist. The industry didn't exist, so the money for Mindz to study it didn't exist, and it just kind of it took a dip. But then over a period of time, it kind of like started to like grow back slowly. And one of the really cool things is now, once it comes back to its equivalency, it's twice as strong for the reference it had, right? When it just starts, like when that idea sparked us, oh, we can take magnets and then we can convert that to a radio wave and back into magnets, so then we can pull a charge from it. That took place in the 30s. But now, taking place now, we can look back all those years and actually see a reference now. So when we're doing it, we're not doing it misinformed, and then we can see new innovations that they can't see. It's the same thing with hip hop. It was supposed to be something that was able to empower people so they can change their lives, right? But they didn't have the infrastructure. They didn't have the minds looking into it. Now, like Chance the Rapper, they might say what they want to say. What's his name? I'm forgetting his name. Jet Life, who's that?
Currency.
Yeah, Currency. He's all the way independent, right?
Absolutely, I think so. Yeah.
And
he's like one of the biggest independent artists.
Yeah, and he's proven the point. And imagine Currency in 40 years, because now when I'm going, hey, everything's gonna be automated anyway. Record labels are gonna be automated. So why don't I just like put my soul out there and then have all the medium, all the marketing? It's gonna be already done, right? And then that's where it's heading. Because one of the philosophies that I heard about hip hop, they had 3 phases. They had year 1, year 10, and year 1000, and each one was related to each other. So in year 1, you just had that small group. Then they did 10 years of work to start a reputation, and that reputation is where we're currently at. So we're always in the peace, love, and all that kind of stuff.
All that, not just all that. Peace, love, unity, safely having fun.
But that's literally getting monetized, so it's just kind of like losing the substance. And that puts it in a sense where, okay, are we looking at hip hop in 1,000 years? Because that's where it's heading. It's not like it's getting any smaller. And I strongly believe that if you're truly looking at hip hop, you're a futurist, because that's how it started. It started with, one day we're gonna have everything, and yes, it's like visionaries, and it's also innovative because we're taking cardboard and we're turning it into like DJ, but then like we lost sight of what we actually like started at. So now, I can't make music because I don't have this fancy equipment. But when it actually started, it was like you had a little pan, and now we have everything, and it's like we don't have nothing. So it's like without losing like the core of where we started from, it kind of always dips, and then we find it, and then we like appreciate it more, and then it just goes exponential. Like, yeah, it's cool to talk about hip hop now, but it's like I'm still not really concerned with like hip hop, because I have the #1 song, but based on where I come from, I don't have like I don't control my economy. I don't control where my food comes from. Yeah, I can make you dance, but I can't police myself. I'm not self-governing like that. And these are relevant conversations. Like, it's one thing to say like, oh, hip hop is like this cool thing, but when you actually just like letting it be monetized by people who don't even care about it. And then I have beef with hip hop because most of our famous artists preach our destruction. Like, I'm not trying to hear you tell me how to like creatively do drugs, how to kill my own people, or how to like misogynize my women. Like, I'm not trying to hear none of that. I'm not trying to hear like let my kids have. I was like even telling you, like, all the big artists in hip hop, like what they do for us. Like 50 Cent come, and then like I lost an entire generation of friends. I guess they didn't get rich, they just died trying, right? So it's like stuff like that. It's like, yeah, it's nice and it's big, but is it in our benefit? And once we don't take like ownership of that, like it's nothing. Like they're gonna continue to pump out like poison for us and call it hip hop. It's just our reality right now, but it doesn't have to be that forever. Like,
yo, and that's why I big up somebody like KRS-One so much, because he's literally dedicated his life to the empowerment of hip hop culture.
And most people don't even know who KRS-One.
Yo, and that's why we got to be like the ones to bring artists who are uplifting the hip hop culture and put them and give them a stage. You know what I mean? So, word, got it. Okay, so we got to wrap up, but that's cool. Where can they find you?
Before we go, I just want to say you are a very profound individual. And I think if there's any entrepreneurs in the audience or just listening over the internet, like, rewatch that. Like, listen to that, take notes, and even if you just take a little bit of something, you apply it, right? Because...
Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, man.
Where could they find me? You can find me at info@homeinthebag.com. I'll answer. I'm on emails, man. Like, I thought I was gonna like do the social market and just keep, but I saw myself like only focus on how much people saw it, how much people liked it. So if you want to know what's up, info@homeinthebag. I respond to all my emails, and I'm timely with that.
Okay, so with that being said, let's get our next guest up here. Yeah, I appreciate it. Give your hands for Micah. Give it up for Micah. This man dropped like 5 things that I'm still pondering and sitting on, and I'm gonna have to meditate on that for real. Like, I'm
dropping
serious.
some knowledge, eh? Dropping some knowledge.
What is good, Hiphoppas? It is Estelle on Sound, letting you know to check out hiphopcertified.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel for exclusive content. Are you certified? Okay, so with that being said, we got our next guest coming up. We have some people coming in. We got our next guest coming up. So we got an Emcee extraordinaire. This man is a BBoy, a teacher. This man is a member of the Floor Wookiees crew, the HHX Crew, the Controverse Collective, any other hip hop crew you could name. This man is a part of it, teaching the kids hip hop and doing a lot more positive things. With that being said, we have the incredible Rubix.
Stop what you're doing and throw your hands up. Throw them up, throw them up if you down. Throw them up if you down.
And coming up as well is the man behind the legend, the man behind the music. This man is, if you know Sasha, if you know, let's see, Rubix, Twizzy, Rebecca Dawn, if you know Frankie, the list goes on and on. This man's probably produced a track that you have fucked with, or probably one of your favorite tracks out of the YYC. We got the incredible BrotherHood.
I'm bringing the light, head flashing in the darkness, target with lyrical shots into the market. That's how I get down. You're my styles and the simplicity.
I want to keep it very current because we had Rubix on the drive-by already, and we went through his past. So if you haven't checked that out yet, please check that out because it's super dope. And shout outs to B Vita, who we also had on the drive-by. Shout outs to Seed and everybody, Nomadic, Mike, Will, Juan, everybody who came out today. Appreciate it. So with that being said, I want to open up with why did you guys decide to collaborate on a full project? You know, because before, like those that don't know, you guys have collaborated on singles before. So you collaborated on like Diamond Minds or Timeless, I think, and you guys have done songs here and there. But now you have a full project coming out called That Was Then, This Is Now. Yeah. Why did you guys decide to come together on a full project this time?
I just feel like it's been so long since the audience got a Rubix album, and the timing couldn't have been better. We pretty much grew up together. We went to high school together, and we grew up in this music industry together, and we had such good chemistry that it was time to bring a full-length album. We didn't want to just drop singles anymore. We wanted to give the audience like a full body of work, and we wanted to give them something different. That's why we went with a mixtape and not, an album. I didn't want to be in charge of Rubix's sophomore album. I wanted to give the audience something raw, which is why we went with a mixtape. And as for the title, that was then, this is now. I feel like that was then, that's the past, the imperfection days, and now we're living in right now, and we want to, that's what we're talking about. So that's why we called that album that, and that title just spoke out to me. Anything you want to add to that?
Yo, BrotherHood pretty much hit it on the nail. At that time when the project was pitched, I felt like actually BrotherHood kind of pulled me out of the deep ice freeze, and it was like, yo, wake up, man, let's do this, let's make a project, a whole project together, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wanted to ask because it's bugging me. Rubix has put out a lot of music, and if you hear his music, it's very positive as well. Rubix has songs talking about manifesting, your future. He has songs talking about being timeless. This man has put in a lot of work. But now you came out with a single called "Smoke with Me," so it's a lot different.
Yes.
This is you know what I mean. The content's a lot different. It's more talking about smoking and doing edibles and stuff like that. So yeah. So how do you guys balance that? How do you balance that? Where you have the positive stuff, but you also have the the turn up shit. So how do you balance that?
You want to go ahead? Okay. I just feel like with the song "Smoke with Me," we were just trying to keep it real for the audience. Why would we have to hide ourselves anymore? There's nothing wrong with it, And I feel like in the music, you just got to keep it real with the audience. Why try to sugarcoat something? It's not like I'm a saint. It's not like he's a saint. We, sometimes we like to relax, and that's what we do. And growing up, that's honestly how me and Rubix got along. That's how we got through some rough times. That's how we ended up going in there, finishing projects and doing a lot of things, And
getting through stress too.
Exactly, just getting through stress, Why hide it anymore? We wanted to keep it real with the audience. That's why we didn't call it Rosaries. We called it "Smoke with Me," because that's what we be doing.
Yeah, man, it was just all about authenticity. And like you said, just embracing something that's been part of my life for a while now. Why hide it? Just be real. Just be upfront with it. Everyone knows. There's no point in hiding it. Yeah. Plus, if you listen to my verse on the track, I'm still talking about rising up over obstacles and mental blocks and and how drugs can affect you mentally, but just being hopeful and staying strong and it's still, I still have my authentic message. But I'm also just embracing the darker parts of me that some people might not know I have.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel like that song just proves that, we're human too, We like to get turned up sometimes, and we're not going to hide it.
Yo, and soon enough, we might be coming out with an app that might help with that. So, you know what I mean? If anybody watched episode 12, might be coming out with an app soon. But anyway, okay, so Rubix, I want to ask you, why did you decide to put out an album after 4 years? Why is now the time to put out an album? And you've done projects in between. You've done projects in between, but not a full-length Rubix project. So why put out a full-length Rubix project in 2019?
I think the answer's simple, man. The time is now to do anything. At any moment, we can die. If I died tomorrow, I'd be oh man, I'm not satisfied with the amount of music and art that I put out into the world. I know my deep capacity and I know my capabilities. And if I'm not trying to exercise and express that to its fullest potential, then what am I doing? I'm wasting time. So it's I don't want to wait no more. It's I just want to keep putting music out and just keep contributing to the world like that. Because tomorrow's not promised, and we all know that. And as cliche as that sounds, it's the truth. You can't fuck with the truth.
How do you stay motivated to still put out projects after you spent a good amount of time in Calgary? So how do you stay motivated to still put out music in the city? Like, because that's something that I feel like I would struggle with in the city, is like consistently putting out projects. How do you consistently do that and still find that motivation?
Personally, I tie my art into like what I feel my sole purpose is. You know, if I'm living my life based on what I feel like, what I need to contribute to my surroundings, to my community, and that's what the root of it is. That's the root of my motives and my actions. Then I can be inspired for the rest of my life.
Whoa.
You know, because it's not based on somebody else. It's not based on a trend. It's not based on what other people are telling me to do or telling me to say. It's like, no, it's based on what I feel like my sole purpose is deep down inside. You know, and when I just focus on that, like, I get inspired every day to just live my life and to just talk about what I feel like I need to talk about.
Word. This is for a question for Brotherhood. How did you find that what, like, the biggest song that you guys have together, I think, is Diamond Mindz.
Yeah.
And now this is before I even knew about a Calgary hip hop. I remember typing in Calgary hip hop on YouTube. That's where I get all my information. And I remember seeing one of the first videos that showed up was Rubix Diamond Mindz. And I was like, okay, what is this? And I checked it out. It was fucking dope. And I was like, the sample that you used was so crazy. What was how did you find that sample, and what made you choose that sample?
It kind of just showed up randomly to me. I was just digging, and then once I hear something that I like, I just go right in. And that beat honestly took like 20 minutes for me to make. I made it while Cable Guy was at my house, and then I was just trying to make a beat in front of him, and I have him hearing it, you know what I mean? And then it just all came together very beautifully. So 20 minutes in and out, and then I showed it to Rubix, I think over the phone, and he's like, I want that track. And then like a few weeks later, I see a video where he's like practicing the song because he's about to perform it with Controversed, about to go do a show. And I was like, wow, okay, this is a banger. This is different from the other tracks we did. This is not a bottle. This is not a Frozen in Time. This is something Calgary's gonna like. Yeah, that's straight up.
That's super dope. Yes, absolutely. Rubix, how have you managed to make a living in hip hop just off of hip hop in Calgary? How have you managed to do that?
Well, I think the opportunity of becoming a hip hop educator just kind of like fell into my lap. Just knowing the right people in the community that are doing it, and then also discovering that there's like a need for that kind of like education for the youth, especially this day and age. And so like a team, an urban arts team had been assembled, like the Avengers, about like maybe like 6 years ago, and from there we started just kind of like just formulating lesson plans to like, okay, how are we gonna teach like obviously there's people teaching like breaking, but how are we gonna teach like graffiti? How are we gonna teach DJing? How are we gonna teach rapping? Because no one else was doing that. And so I just kind of stuck to that, and I really enjoy working with kids. I really enjoy passing knowledge down. And again, once you're living your sole purpose, like abundance of like money just comes to you. Like you're supported by the universe, and I just stuck to that. Just stuck to my strengths, being on stage. All of a sudden, all these like hosting gigs just start going my direction. And, you just kind of like embrace it and just be thankful for it,
Word, I'm gonna shoot a question to my boy Brotherhood. How do you decide who to work with? Like, what's your criteria? How do you know if somebody's cool?
It's kind of hard to say because like I gotta catch them at the like kind of like the right moment. It's like a feeling. You can't describe it. Once you feel it, it's like it's kind of like meant to happen. It's in your gut, And sometimes it happens randomly, And sometimes an artist has to kind of like grow on me, and I try to understand their story because we all got a story to tell, I feel, and just it's a gut feeling. That's when I know.
Man just follows his instinct, eh?
Oh yeah, that. It's all instinct. Yeah.
Word. Rubix, I'm gonna ask, or I actually ask him the next question.
Okay. So this one's for Rubix. I guess my question would be for you is, what are the two most important things that you've learned from doing hip hop in Calgary? It's a bit of a like open-ended question.
Okay, just like this is such a deep question. I could talk on this topic for hours, but just off the top of my head right now, when you ask that question, I would say number one, learn how to freestyle, because like no word of a lie, freestyling has saved me so many times. Not just in a rap, but just like, you know, when you're talking to someone you don't know what to say, or like you're in a situation and everything is out of your control and it's going chaotic, you know, like you got to learn how to freestyle with the situation, right? So learn how to freestyle, and also like find your message. There's a lot of cats in the city that try and get you to rap a certain way, or you gotta like follow this specific trend, but the thing is, like, everyone's like fighting for the same piece of pork chop, you know, when there's like actually other pork chops and other plates and other types of food around the corner, but no one's willing to like go around there and check it out, you know. So it's like, find your message, make your own lane, and like stick to that, be true to yourself. Those are some of the main things I've learned.
Word. The last thing I wanted to ask, actually, both of you guys are very inspired by Nipsey Hussle, and we've had conversations about this. You even put me on to Nipsey Hussle, like a lot of his earlier projects, like the Bullets Ain't Got No Name. So I wasn't in. This was when he first passed away. Like, you really put me onto those projects, and I started to do my research. And when I talked to you guys seemed very inspired by Nipsey Hussle. Like, that was an inspiration for this project. So what is it about Nipsey Hussle that inspired you guys the most?
It's hard to say. Just the life that he lived, you know what I mean? I felt like he was like a reincarnation of Tupac, you know what I mean? When he passed away, I felt like it hit me so hard. It felt like I almost lost like a really good friend, because I'm like growing up listening to this guy's music and watching him go from the mixtape scene to where he is now. Grammy nominated rapper, and just for this project, like, I felt like it really inspired me to go in and like finish some incomplete projects, put it out there and package it, and, you know, just put it out there, because you never know when you're gonna go. Like, tomorrow is not promised, you know. You might as well put the music out now or never, you know.
Word. Last question.
Okay, so my bad. For the people who are not like too familiar with the Calgary hip hop scene, like, I feel like a lot of people, they listen to hip hop, like hip hop's pretty popular, right? But they're not too aware of what local guys are doing and what they're up to. Why do they have to listen to this album? Why should they check this out?
You want to answer it, or? Why do they gotta listen to this album? They gotta listen to it because it's local, and we put our hearts into it. You know, it's different. It's not some, you know, cookie cutter BS. This is the real deal. This is the real stuff. And you know, if you want to look for, like, you know, real talent, you would dig for this album. Like, this album, we put our everything into it pretty much, and you know, and we were hard on ourselves. I don't think anybody was like as hard on it as like me and him. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of times where I made him go back and rewrite some verses and change a lot of things in the beat and all that. Like, we really put a lot of time into this, and yeah.
Yo, facts, man. That's all facts, man. Like, the whole process is just been like super humbling for me.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to have that kind of mindset as an artist so you can grow and develop. To answer your question, I think there's just a lot of like authenticity about like our story, about just like the mindset that, you know, we go through, like the different struggles that we've gone through in the last, like, you know, 4 or 5 years, just growing as a human. And so, like, you know, and there's just a lot of substance in the album. You know, like, there's a lot of, I feel like, well, my hope is that, you know, when people listen to it, they can listen to it again, like, in a year, 2 years, 3 years, and like hear new stuff or get new meanings from the lines that we put in there, and just in the moods that we put in there.
Word.
Okay, so we do a lot of talking, but we gotta back it up. So, with that being said, we're gonna clear up the stage and let these guys perform the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's get it. And we're gonna have these guys perform "Smoke with Me" and "Elevators." So with that being said, let's get the stage cleared up for you guys and let's see what you got. You're about to witness the strength of the certified cipher. Check over here. There we go. We're here. Hola, Mamalinas. ¿Cómo estás? Yo, shout out to my mom. She pulled up. Super late. You know that's how she's Latina.
Oh my God.
Yo, I love you though. It's okay. It's okay. So with that being said, now is the time. Now is the time to open up the stage for any MC, singer, artist. Now, come on, you guys got to get back up here, and we got to rip the cipher. We got to rip the cipher. So anybody who's interested in cipher and rapping, let's get up here and let's fucking rip this shit. Mike, come on, let's get up here, bro. It's a cipher.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Come on, get up here. Mindz, you gotta get up here. Okay, no. Oh, yo, you want a cipher? Juan, come on, get up here, cipher. Mamalinas, ¿quieres? You want to come up and cipher? Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, I really had to do this like every day. Shout outs to Frito Lay, I see the chairs. Hold up, man, who said that life wasn't fair? I really do this like Tim Hortons. I'm trying to wrap it up and go hex sports and I'm exploding up like a rocket. Y'all know me, I really gotta do it, punch you in your fucking socket. Oh man, just gotta go and get a locket. I be chilling with the B-boys, popping locking. Yeah, you can see the camera. I camp through, then I spit it with so much stamina. Hold, you know the boy named Rubix, we really had to get up like Nike and go do it. Yeah, like Nike, make a movie like Spike Lee. Y'all can never come and fight me. If you did, then it's gotta be a fucking battle. Y'all know me, I spit it, then I really gotta shackle. Gotta get these shackles, break them off and change. Y'all know me, I never do it fucking the same. I really stay in my lane. I'm about to pass it off. Rubix, come and blast it off.
Blast it off, I might wreck my mind. Yo, I come through second place next in line. Yo, so divine, so test my rhyme. If you wanna test this line, I'll go shine. Climbing up divine, and I'll go and pray in my better lay. Yo, what is on display? Got the skills that we build. Yeah, we always kill the MIC, make your dreams get fulfilled. Like it's destiny, what's the manifesto? I got my negativity and I will let go. Throw it off and I'll bash it. Yo, it's like Super Mario or Yoshi when I smash it. Actually, I like to use Kirby. Sometimes my freestyles get wordy, but that's okay, cause you can find me in a place that's so dirty. Yo, I'm almost rolling 30. Yeah, but that's all good, cause I still am early in my life. And now we go on strike, and our whole fucking crew gets hyped. Now we take flight.
Uplifted, elevated. I always used to be hated. I always used to be a misfit. Everybody like, ain't nobody like you. Ain't nobody wanna hear all that conscious. Anybody really care when they murder? No conscience, no wordy. I'm just seeing homies on RP Jersey. Everybody saying, ooh, too early. Yeah, I gotta get it like I gotta go. Yeah, I'm not calling back, just another audible. It don't bother me, I just call it audible. It's the shit in me, got the sewer. Yeah, already got the pound like manure. Yeah, already been a Ninja Turtle like a sewer. Already do it like a newer. Already do it like a Buddhist. I see the updated naked truth. And let's say, yeah, you just wanna rap to the beat and wear nice Nikes on my feet. I got gold chains in my brain, so I'm shackling divine in the sign. This divine intervention with my pain. Never meet the paper, meet my passion and the A. I don't even gotta tell you that you gotta pay, but it's a freestyle. Let's keep it freestyle. Let's say we stop. Yeah, everybody wanna be G'd up to the feet up, but I've been G'd up, mind controllers. I'm like, if I start rapping, I'm gonna start snapping. Get them shaking like they wanna claim Baptist. I wanna claim baptized. I'm not living Christ-like, but everybody know that's the only way to be. It's the Holy G. It's the Mo in me. It's the Mo to see, the Yo to see. You will never see. Ah, man. But I gotta start rapping now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, my name is fucking Seed, but my mama calls me Smamir. Keep your intentions clear. Yeah, you know I'm up here, coming here to steer the rhythm bus in a Russian. Yeah, you know, no Russian. I'm like not Vladimir Putin. I'm just putting these bars in your mind. Yeah, I'm fuming like I'm yeah, I'm musing. Yeah. Okay, yeah, shout outs to Rubix and BrotherHood, you know what's really good. They be dropping knowledge on me now. I'm feeling really like, I be feeling so inspired. I be getting higher, I be smoking with me, but I be smoking alone with these trees. You know how I be like and how I see. Yeah, this my city, yeah, I be repping Calgary. My name is Samir Dadi, but you know that seed, that's the government, but I be just going by seed. Okay, now I'm running out of breath, what's left there? You know this ain't no test, but I just keep it levitating like I'm never faded, but you know I be so elevated on my mind. Shout outs to elevators. I be so inspired now. I'm going on the crater like the moon. Yeah, I cratered like a zoom. But you know I be getting the Roomba. I be so clean with the team. You know this is cypher clean. You know what we doing. You know I ain't being mean. I just wanna inspire, get it higher and the lighter. You know I'm just gonna. Hold up, I'm like trying to get the collective consciousness. KRS taught me that, you know where that went. Up in my brain, gotta put it in my heart, yeah. You know in the soul, yeah, in the fucking art, yeah. And I'ma pass it to Nomadic cause he got it. Oh my god, he's so sporadic. I'ma pass it.
Hey, I'm Nomadic, you know what I'm about. We're at Koi Cafe now. Thankful for Rubix and BrotherHood. Yo, this podcast is certified too. Every Wednesday we get it down. I met these cool people. Thanks to Zoe, a shout out. I'm not really good at rapping, but I might keep going cause I know I'm about it. I thank all the people here and the gifts that they give, and oh gosh, losing the beat, but I'm gonna catch it again. That was then and this is now. We're here to grow like a seed from the ground. Shout out to Samir, he's always there. Yo, he's my brother, you see. Always at it, we always gonna go to the top using elevator, yo. On top of the roofs you see, we're gonna be smoke with me. Now I'ma pass it to Mike cause I'm running out of words and I know he's gonna do it right.
Alright, I'm gonna read some poetry though so that you can know the real me. In these times of pain, there's so much to gain, from the hurt inside to the connections that come to life, from fearing about that pain and strife. You know we all have more in common than that humble humming and drumming of those busy streets where our feet are always shuffling. Take some time just to take it slow. You know there ain't too far to go before the blue sky becomes mine and yours, cause as y'all know, when it rains it pours. You know now all parts of me are united as me, and it was meant to be, cause I learned to think, feel, and see, so I can vision what it's like for all to be free. And it ain't no miraculous way of being, it's just a fresh positive way of seeing that the world isn't as dark and hopeless, cause those that told you must have less self-love, self-care, self-motivation. These kind of senses bring me to elevation, to an energetic feeling that runs through my soul. It grounds my thoughts so that I'll never fold. It's taught me to be oh so bold, my inner light radiating like blue and gold. I'm gonna keep doing this for me, my own heart and soul.
Yo, I give this shit, yo, my heart and soul. Now it's my turn to try to kick a flow. You already know I'm ready to blow any given minute. BrotherHood is not a gimmick. This is really how I live it, 24/7 till the day I'm in heaven, rapping for the legends. You already know I'm just trying to make it go off the top, giving it all that I got. Yo, I'm hitting up the spot. Just gotta give a shout to Esteban, cause it's the motherfucking Saigon Dawn, and I'm just dropping bombs on the song like Vietnam, but I'm just going, never knowing where I'm going. Beats ain't the only thing I want to provide. I want to bring good vibes as long as I'm alive.
Hey. There you go.
Are we done?
You too. Yeah, if you want to keep on going, man.
We're done?
No, next beat. Hold up.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Oh.
Oh, yo, yeah. Yeah, yo. So I guess I get 30 seconds. I'ma treat the mic like it's a weapon. I don't give a fuck. I'll be there in a second. Keeping it high every time I pick up on this mic. These motherfuckers wanna stop me from shining. I just keep on grinding. I never stay behind on my rhyme. I just get it better in time like wine. And I don't need them to co-sign my name on no dotted line. Homie, I just gotta rhyme every time I follow the signs. Oh, I'm doing this shit up in Coy. It's your motherfucking boy, BrotherHood. Yeah, I'm chilling down in the hood and I'm doing exactly what I should. I put the competition on death row like Shug. Now let me just pass it so my man can blast it. Listen.
Yeah. I'm blasting, I'm passing, I'm laughing, I'm crashing, I'm smashing, I'm dashing. Yo, it's Nasty G, raised up on 1st Street. The art district is where you gonna find me. I keep 10 toes planted on the concrete. Commitment is excellence, that all I wanted is all I see. It's all I need, it's all I breathe. I'm living out these raps, trying to condone not to live through these memories. Living in the past, in my essence, I've been learning in my future, cause my past is a present. I've been stressing, giving this damn mission to see how I'm living, put up in 2020 vision. Yeah, perfection, yeah, that lesson, yeah, I've been stressing but repeating, I'm dreaming, cause it's all about practice. My intelligence ain't if artificial. If I wanna get it, I am heaven sent. Oh damn, I tried to do it right, thought about that rhyme last night. I put it on the mic, cause see it, you do it, you keep on charging. Yeah, for that rap, I might be charging. Yeah, 99 cents. Got $1, flip it, and it's an investment. Yeah, yeah. To it's certified HHX. You know we do it live. Shout out Cafe Koi. Shout out to the scene. Shout out to the YYC. That is my team. Gone.
Okay. I just want to do a quick shout out to everybody because this has been amazing. So as a former Calgarian, I'll try and get to you. Tell you how much I feel you kept a host, yeah. Oh, the community here is so good. Can I up the beat, just get it to my shirt, to that vibrations I heard daily, just about 5 minutes, yeah, but focusing to my intuition every day. You guys got this community, longevity, yeah, please think for me. Good food, no Applebee's, can you see that I'm trying to keep it naturally? Yo, you gotta get with me. I don't care about the tree, it don't matter, listen to me. Your perspective will be the one that keeps you going till you die, yeah. Okay, so we're not mortal, immortal, but we gotta keep this thing on the conquest, but breathe. Remember to pause and look at the trees. Think about the things that naturally be. Shinrin Yoku, I'm hiking for days, please come with me. I'm inviting you to see the oceans and the sun seas. It don't matter anymore, man, I gotta give it to the man here. He got you all going, yeah, please keep the expression for days. Cause you keep changing lanes, you gotta keep with the ways, but change will keep you going for days. Now I'm just repeating my words, hey, don't worry about your vocabulary, hey, cause if you think to your conscious mind, it'll come, yeah. Read every day and keep your mind elevated. I just see everybody to the greatest. Yeah, it don't matter if you got the gold chain. It's your mind, it's your heart. Can you keep to your lane? Autobahn expression, please keep it going. I'm traveling the world and the 7 seas, yeah. Man, everybody is an artist, can you see? Just tap in and let the fire hoses be. Alright, yo, I gotta pass it back to you, little man. You gotta come up here and hit us with a little rhyme. Oh, yo, okay, hold up. Oh, a bag for a home. Tell him you going.
Come on, Nasty.
Thank you. You wanted something a bit more aggressive?
Yeah, just a tad. Sorry, trying to vent.
You got some time.
Hey, I don't even rap no more. I just, hey.
Hold on, it's coming.
I can go acapella, I don't need a beat. I got my heart, so I just let my bars speak. I just do it like, yeah, Mars Hershey's. You can even say galaxies, but the God in me, like a Willie G. I've been a G since a stroller. The Matrix my controller, and everybody wanna get bombed. I told her, I already told her it's a molar, it's a stroller. I already told you like a Hershey's kiss. I've been this wish, I've been this wicked, just the rhymes. I've been this doing just my time. I taking feet up, got the re-up. I get mine, I just fly, yeah, really high. Snoop Dogg influence till the day I die. It's the loyalty for the food, my Nipsey G. And everybody wanna come and get the hustle with the muscle, got to get the flow in. And yeah, you won't never know what my brain going. I say Nasty G, get me the aggressive beat, but it's the chill, aggressive it, yeah. I just do it, like yeah. I just flew in like that. I influence my mindset, so my mindset on. I don't even know, I just set on. The dead homies dead and gone, R.I.P. dead gone. But yeah, I gotta live up like I fly. Gotta live up like I'm touching to the sky. I sacrifice all my vices to be on the righteous pattern, man. And then everybody wanna go and get it like they said it right. And you ain't never said it right. And if you said it in, they're gonna be like settlement. And yeah, when you settle in, they gonna settle on you, run up on you, put it with the sparker. You wanna be a G, but you don't wanna die. And everybody wanna look you in your eyes, see you realize you don't really realize all the lies they telling you. It's just been disguised, it's just been leaf fire, it's just been heat fire, it's just been global warming. We've been storming on the breaches, hip hop in this, and I don't even wanna call them dogs bitches, but I hear they barking on my barks vicious, and I gotta get it like I do dishes. I gotta get it like I whip work, white work, and flew in it. But when I get in the zone, I'm too in it. I'm too nicer. I wanna get it way back like two ciphers, like it's outta gotta be. You don't even wanna see what jump out of me when I get with the rapping. It's gonna be, yeah, I shoulda went start trapping and start hacking. I do this hacking shacking. I gotta get it with this, yeah, shacking a fool. You thinking that you Kobe, and I don't wanna be misogynistic, most like a misfit. I ain't never gonna talk about your girl, how she misfit. Yeah, if I ever gotta get it, know that we hit, know that we quit. I gotta be on my divine. The devil's knowing me by the first name I mind. I don't even have to tell you how I'm flowing. I just gotta tell you that I'm straight going, straight showing the kids another future. I don't even wanna be the Martin, more like Mansa Mucha. And if I gotta be the Martin, know I got the shooter. And that's the way my 12 gauge already been smitten, the Weston. I gotta get it from my best friend. I gotta get it from my kinfolk, my dead folk, my ringfolk, my ringtone. I get on, get on.
Okay. Head to close it off. I want y'all to help me blast it off. When I say hip hop, y'all say certified. Hip hop. Certified. Hip hop. Certified. When I say hip hop, y'all say certified. Hip hop. Certified. Hip hop. Certified. Okay, we about to close it off. I just trying to go so hot, gotta take my clothes off. Like you could call me Nelly. Oh man, the shit is so funky, call it smelly. I came through like I was chilling with my bellies. Oh man, from Toronto, spit it with the God flow. Y'all already know I had to do it with some nacho cheese. Man, hold up, wait, that's nacho cheese. Oh, hold up. I see poetic justice. Y'all know me, I gotta do this some justice. The beat from Brotherhood, man, it's so good. We do it from the suburbs to the fucking hood. Yeah, and we really get it understood. Shout outs to Mikey fucking Woods, yeah. Hold up, shout outs to Coy and Aaron. She was really doing sound, she was really bearing all the arms. I came through like the marathon, came through like Nipsey. I'm just trying to bear these arms, yeah. But I ain't toting no guns. That's God, universe, and nature. That's my one, yeah. I'm about to close it off. Shout outs to Certified. Shout outs to everybody who came here, do it live. And shout outs to everybody. Thanks, we just made this a fucking party. Hey. Okay, with that being said, we gotta close off. Thank you everybody who came out today. Thank you, Hip Hop Certified, episode 13. We made this legit, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Peace.